Alright, well today we're starting on the little 2-channel glider that we're going to launch off the top of our little Nitro trainer. I've got the fuselage cut. Kind of got a rounded front end. I may change that up a bit, I don't know. But it's 1.5 wide on the bottom, 1 3/4 tall on the sides. And it's the length of a piece of foam board, 30 inches, so about 29 3/4. Only thing I did special here is flatten the back part, so when I glue it together, I can take my sandpaper and level the back evenly and glue my horizontal stabilizer on there right on top. And my plan is, once it's put together like so, I'm going to run one push rod straight out the back for the elevator, and the other one will come out of the side somewhere on, not sure which side yet. So I'm going to glue that together, but I wanted you all to see it before I did that. I just drew it out of my head like I did the little foamy, 30-inch foamy. So if you want to see how to draw and cut one of these fuselages out, you can use that as a reference on that video, and I go through the steps and show you what to do. You just have to change your measurements, and it's pretty simple. Alright, well on this little glider we're going to need longer push rods. So staying in fashion with using my yard marking flags, you know, the landscaping flags for push rods, I'm putting heat shrink around it. Shove 2 of them in there together. My camera would focus. You shove 2 of them in the heat shrink together like so. Heat that up and then slide a 1 size bigger heat shrink over it to double heat shrink it. And that should work pretty good. It's actually quite stiff with it just being in there without being shrunk. And that gives you a much longer push rod. So get yourself a box of heat shrink like this. You can find them on Amazon for about $8–10. You can get all that heat shrink. Comes in handy for more than just things like this. Of course, a lot of wiring it comes in handy for, but I'm going to try this idea out. It looks like it's going to work pretty good versus soldering or gluing or putting a piece of wood between the two like some people do. I think this will work just fine. Moving on. Alright. We got the servos in. I'm just reusing some old servos. We got our heat shrinked push rod put in. And the tail. We're just going real basic and real simple on this one. I don't want to take 2 days building it, which I kind of get carried away sometimes. We also shaped the front a little bit. Might do a little more shaping there. And right now with my battery, the balance point's right there at that mark, a little far back. So I may end up moving the wing back. Moving the wing back because right at that black servo is the center of the wing that I was going to have on there. But I may have to move it back right to here. Unless I can find some more weight. We could always put an FPV camera in and that might add enough weight. So I'll figure it out and I'll show you. Alright, so we're just about finished up with this little 2-channel glider that I've put together. Using the wing off of one of my older foamy designs, little glider wing. So I just wanted to show you, I'm going to try to build my own high start. So I'm using a hook out of one of my powered gliders that was supposed to be a regular glider, but I made them powered. So I have these leftover hooks that came with them. So when you do something like this, you want to make sure you put that hook right underneath the front part of the wing. Don't put it way up here because then it won't track right going up on the high start. So I'm going to use the 15-minute epoxy instead of hot glue here too, because I want a good bond. And once I get it in, once it's set in there, I'm going to put a little plywood plate here and a little plywood plate here. Since this is foam, I don't want it ripping out. So I just wanted to show you that real quick before I get it done. And alright, well, I got the hook done. You can see it under there. I'll show you in a second. This little glider really turned out nice. You can see I got the servos in there with each other. You just got to make that offset right there to run one rod under the other rod. It's pretty simple. Just like the offset you put in the back for that. Oh yeah. And then my ugly tow hook. It's not the prettiest thing, but it'll work for a high start. So when my surgical tubing gets here that I ordered off of Amazon, I got 35 feet of it coming and some polyline. We'll make a high start for this. Probably test fly it on the high start before we strap it on top of the 40 size airplane. I had some old stickers that came with one of my batteries. I just stuck it on there, give it some color. I haven't decided what I'm going to do up here yet. I really tempted to put a little motor on it, but I built it to be a glider, so for now it's going to stay a glider. But that was a quick day. I took a day and a half building, but that's because I took my time. You could build this in a day easy. The how-to on that wing is in my list of videos. I'm not sure exactly which video. Just look for the Real Bright Orange Airplane, and that's the video that tells you how to build that wing. Everything else pretty much showed you. It's extremely light, so hopefully it flies good. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Alright, there it is, all finished up, ready to fly. Turned out really decent. Almost looks like a glider, don't it? And also, because I put the hook on the bottom, I took some of that scrap foam and just made a little stand for it. And you can do that too real easy. Just cut some horseshoe shapes out or U shapes out. Glue them onto a piece of foam board, and it's a perfect little rack for it.